Howdy. How is everyone doing? You can give me a thumbs up or just wave at the camera, whatever works best. Awesome. Well, happy Wednesday and welcome to our Living Well Pilates class. I'm seeing lots of new names and lots of new faces on today's session, and that is because today we are opening up our Living Well Pilates session to the Walk Across Texas participants, and we're so happy to have you all with us. This is a 45-minute, hi, Flora. Sorry. This is a 45-minute Pilates class where we get to do some movement and breathing. You'll see, some upper body work. We'll work through core, lower body, lots of stretching and mobility, and just an opportunity to get away from your desk, get away from, your to-do list, whatever you've been working on, and take some time to appreciate your body and all that you've been doing. So a Walk Across Texas is in play for anyone who may not know what that is. It is a challenge that is going on in the Brazos Valley right now, and Flora Williams is one of our big leads on that and one of our favorite partners, and we're happy to just be part of this Walk Across Texas for 2023 and see all of the teams that are engaging this year trying to get their miles to get across Texas. There will be a giveaway. So Trinity Woods is going to do a spin the wheel. So everyone's names, everyone who's in participation today, she is going to put their names into a wheel and do a drawing at the end of today's Pilates session. So you're all eligible to win some awesome Living Well swag. And then we will just get the winner's email at the end of today's session. You can send that to the chat. We'll get that email and then find a way to get you your swag. So that's a little rundown of what to expect for today. If you can just do yourselves a favor, make sure that you've got some comfy clothes on. You can toss your shoes and socks off to the side. Barefoot is a great way to move in Pilates. That way you have a little bit of grip on the bottom of your foot. You don't need anything other than either, some sort of cushioned surface. So that could be a yoga or Pilates mat. That could be a blanket. It could be a towel, or hey, if you just want to lay down on the carpet and that is cushion enough for your body, that is great. You really don't have to have anything special for today's class. All right. So before we get started really quick, I'm going to take a picture of our participation list just so that I can get everyone checked in after class today. And I'll probably have to stop and do that at some point in the middle of class, but if I don't do it now, I'll forget. So I'll pin my video and we're going to start today's class in a seated position. So find yourselves on your mat. Knees can be bent, hands either behind the hamstrings or at those knees. I want us to think about sitting up as tall as you're able. So reaching our sits bones into the mat, letting the crown of our head reach towards the ceiling. We can go ahead and roll the shoulder blades back and down our spine, allowing the chest to just open up. Find a big inhale through the nose, and then exhale, round out through the spine, scooping through that pelvis. Inhale, lift the spine up, and exhale, rounding. Good. So we'll continue to move through this spinal mobility, if you will. And if you have ever heard of Pilates, you may or may not know that it was founded by a gentleman named Joseph Pilates, and he believed that we were only as old as our spine. And one of the biggest things that we can do to prevent aging or ill aging is to mobilize the spine. So we incorporate that a lot in our Pilates sessions. One more time, scoop through that pelvis, come back up nice and tall, lifting through the chest. Very good. From here, let those hands come away from those knees or the thighs. Can we gently lower down to the mat? You could do that by taking your hands to the floor, whatever you need to do. We're releasing down to the mat with some control. From here, We'll start with a little bit of breathing. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, bring the hands back down by your sides. We call this rib cage arms. We're just starting to mobilize through the shoulders and sync up our breath with our movement. So inhale those arms overhead. Exhale, pull them right back down by your sides. 2 more times. Big inhale. And exhale. Last time. As we exhale, can you nod the chin forward to let your head and shoulder blades come off the mat? Very good. Inhale, reach. And exhale, nod the head and shoulder blades up. Last time, can you hold the head and shoulder blades lifted? Walk your feet towards your bottoms. Very good. All right, we start with something called the hundreds. It's a little funky, but it is a great way to warm up. We pump the arms really strong by our sides. Inhale for a count of 5 breaths. Exhale for a count of 5 breaths. So it sounds like this. Yes, can you actually hear yourselves breathing? If you're like me and those spring allergies have gotten to you, your breathing may sound a little funky, but that's okay. The point is that we're taking those big, quick inhales through the nose and exhales through the mouth. Option to keep your feet here, or we could stack the knees right over our hips, zipping up through the inner thighs. 1 more round. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knees to chest. Release the head and shoulders down to the mat. From here, we'll extend the legs all the way across the mat again, moving into a roll up. Inhale those arms overhead. Exhale, nod the chin. Can you peel your spine off of the mat and reach for those toes? Lower down with control. We take it down bone by bone by bone. Big inhale. Exhale, lift it up. If we're noticing we're getting stuck right here, that's okay. Use your elbows or your wrists to lift up. Reach over the thighs. Good. Same thing on the way down. You can use those elbows and wrists to guide you down. Our biggest goal here is control. Lift it up. We reach. Lower it down. Let's do 3 more. Big inhale. Exhale, nod the chin. Try to keep those heels pressing towards the mat or towards the floor. Good. Last time, using that core strength as opposed to momentum of the arms. Lift up, reach for the toes. Can we lower it all the way down? As we connect back with our mat, find your right leg up towards the ceiling. We find about a 45-degree angle here and start tracing a small circle on the wall or the ceiling above you. Imaginary circle, that is. About the size of a dinner plate, or maybe think about tracing along the outside of a basketball. Right heel stays connected with the floor. 1 more circle in this direction, then reverse it. Sweeping that leg out, we're just mobilizing through our right hip here, stabilizing through our core. We've got 3, 2, and 1. Bring that right knee into the chest. Go ahead, roll out through the ankle. We're going to take it to some larger circles here. Same leg extends up towards the ceiling. Bring the leg across the body. Sweep it around, across, and around 1 more time. Good. Reverse it with that big beach ball size circle. We have 2 and 1. Once again, bring the knee to the chest. From there, gently slide the knee across your body. Both shoulders remain in contact with the floor here. Moving into a little spinal rotation. And when we're ready, hips come back down to the mat. We extend that right leg all the way out. Left leg finds 45 degrees. We do the same thing on this side. Start with those small dinner plate or basketball size circles, tracing your big toe around that imaginary item. The spine stays long, core is engaged. We have 3, 2, and 1. Let's reverse the direction of those circles. Continue sending some energy into that right heel as it presses into the mat. We have 4, 3, 2, And one left knee falls into the chest. Give it a little stretch, maybe roll out through your ankle. And know that you've got one more round, finding those big beach ball size circles. The left leg reaches to the ceiling. Bring it across the body and around. Across and up one more time. Good. Reverse it. 3 in this direction. Out, up to the top. 2. And last one. That knee bends into the chest. Take the knee across the body. We find our spinal rotation here. Remember, both shoulders stay down on the floor. Find a big inhale through the nose. As you exhale, we'll bring that left knee into the chest and go into everyone's favorite Pilates exercise series. It is the Pilates 5 ab series. So we're starting with the left knee in at the chest. Take your hands to that shin bone and then elevate the right leg off of the floor. Yeah, you ready? We're going to switch legs. Extend the left leg, bring the right knee in. Elbows are wide. Good. How are we feeling? Can we do it again? Extend and switch. Option to bend both knees and just tap that toe to the floor. It's a great option. Our head and shoulder blades are off of the mat. We're working through our core. 3, 2, and last one on either side. From there, both knees come into the chest, moving into double leg stretch. We send both hands and feet out for opposite walls. Reach the arms around, hug your knees in tight. Did you keep your head and shoulder blades lifted? Let's try it again. Reach out in opposition. Bring the hands around, hug your knees tight. Good, let's do 3 more. Out and in, keep those inner thighs connected. We press. And pull in, final time, big reach. Sweep it around, hug the knees in, take your toes to the ceiling. Allow one hand to find your calf muscle, the other leg lowers to the floor. We call this scissors. The long name is single straight leg stretch, but it's a mouthful, so we'll call it scissors today. We alternate legs. You can take your hands to your hamstring if that feels better for you. Head and shoulders can always come down and connect with the mat if that feels better for our neck and shoulders. Last one on either side. And release. All right, zip up through your inner thighs. Hands come behind the base of the skull. We lower the feet down 6 inches and lift up. Lower, lower, and lift. Option, take a slight bend in those knees. We're hinging at the hips. Lower and lift. Another great option, alternating legs. We can find that toe tap, still working through the core. So at this point, you have done 4 of the Pilates 5 ab series. We have 1 more exercise left, so take those legs down, lift it up, hands come back to the base of the skull for crisscross, opposite shoulder to opposite knee, twist. And switch. Oh yes, we're almost there. If you're like, oh my core is on fire, that's the point. Yeah. We warmed up. We jump right into our core work. Twist and switch. Keep those elbows wide for 3, 2. Last one on either side. And release. Head and shoulders down to the mat. You can extend your arms and feet to opposite ends of the room. Just breathe and release. Good. From here, we're going to move into a little bit of glute work. So we'll fold the knees or bring the knees towards our bottoms. Hands down by our sides. Actively engage your glutes. Then press the hips towards the ceiling. We come into our first bridge of the day. Spine is long. Can we make sure that we have some space between our chin and our chest? Oh yeah, we don't want to be crammed up through the head and shoulders. All right, hips come down. Take an inhale. Exhale, press it back up. From here, we're reaching our knees towards our toes or towards the other end of the room. Core is really strong here. Chest is open. Lower down. All right, can you continue this? We're lifting and lowering at our own pace. So maybe it looks like this. We inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Might feel a little bit slower than that. But I want you to find that bridge position however you deem appropriate. We could just hold our bridge. That could be another great option. I'll give us all about 5 more opportunities to move through this bridge. And at the top of that 5, we all hold our hips lifted. We reach the crown of our head back while our knees reach forward. We've got a long neutral spine. Our belly is engaged. And we hold this isometric position for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll the spine down. Allow the knees to sway from side to side, just opening up through the hips. Maybe you'll feel a little stretch through the low back. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Use that right knee as you bring it to the chest. Slowly lift yourselves up into a seated position. Now get your bearings. We've been on our backs in a supine position for a little while, for the first 15 minutes of class. So get your orientation back. We're sitting up nice and tall. Reach the shoulders back and down the spine. Float the arms forward for spine stretch forward. We're just gonna roll the forehead over the thighs, reaching for our knees, and then stack it back up. This goes back to that same comment I made at the beginning of class. We are only as old as our spines. And this is another spinal mobility exercise where we work on spinal articulation, rolling down one vertebra at a time. Make that big rainbow over the thighs and then lift it back up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, roll it down. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, stack it up. Can we do it one more time? Inhale. Exhale, roll it down and lift. All right, shake it out. Okay, from here, we're going to do the exact same spinal rotation. So spinal articulation as you roll down, but we're going to add some rotation to it. So bring your feet about hip distance apart. We're taking our arms to opposite walls, reaching them out. Now, can you rotate your torso to one side of the room? Now roll down, reach your forehead towards your knee and your hand reaches towards the pinky toe. Slowly stack it back up. Good, we're going to do that slow one more time. Rotate to the other side of the room. Roll down, bone by bone by bone, reach for that pinky toe and then stack it back up. Now, can we move a little bit faster? We roll down, reach. Inhale, exhale, reach. Good, rotate. Then roll down, reach for that pinky toe, lift back up. Can we do one more on either side? Oh yeah, this is one where my hair likes to get a little funky. And release. Go ahead, come up, roll out those shoulders, feet come in towards one another. And we're gonna slide back onto our elbows and open up through the chest. We have a long neutral spine here. Chest is open. If you sit at a desk where you find yourselves hunched over a majority of the day, this is a great way to just open up through the chest and heart center and get some expansion there. Option to stay right here. If you want a little bit more, you can come up to those hands and we open up. Even more so, we could try lifting the hips. It's like a reverse plank. These are just options, not requirements, just giving a few suggestions. Try whichever one you prefer. And we'll release. Go ahead, lift it up into that seated position. From here, we're going to fold one leg into the chest, and I'll face you guys so you can see me better. One leg folds in, the other one is extended. Spine is nice and tall. We're going to gently hinge forward, keeping the chest lifted. We'll find a little stretch through those inner thighs here. Take another inhale. And exhale, can you rotate your torso towards the extended leg? Just a little stretch break here for you between our Pilates work. And then we dive a little bit deeper, reaching our hands towards that ankle. And a big inhale. As we exhale, can we reach that front arm overhead and get a nice side body stretch? Good. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, release all the way up. Good. Let's switch legs. The other leg extends. The other one bends in. Chest is lifted. We hinge forward, finding that inner thigh stretch. Just some simple breathing here. Take an inhale. As you exhale, rotate the torso towards the extended leg. Keep your sits bones or your bottoms reaching down towards the floor. From there, walk your hands towards your foot as best you can. I'm not quite as flexible on this side, so that's okay if it doesn't look the same as myself or anyone else joining us today, or if it's just doesn't even work and be more the same flexibility that you had on the other side. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, reach that front arm overhead. Get that side body stretch. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Lift up nice and tall. Roll out the shoulders. Very good. All right, we're moving into our side lying work. So reach your head to one side of the mat or the room that you're working in, and your legs are going to be at the other end. So we start by just laying down on our sides. We could use our arm to kind of cradle our head. Our spine is at the back edge of our mat, and our feet are slightly in front of us. That creates a little angle at our hips. Starting with the top leg, it lifts up and lowers down. This is not a big leg lift and lower. It's only coming about as high as the top of our hip. So just be mindful of that. This movement doesn't have to be big to be impactful. We're working through this abduction of taking the leg away and outside of the body. We'll do 3 more. This top hand can come in front of us for more stability. And on this last one, hold the top leg lifted. Pulse it towards the ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We point that top toe and circle the leg forward. Brush those inner thighs together with every circle. We have 3, 2, and 1. Let's reverse it. Take that leg circle in the opposite direction. Keep brushing the inner thighs together. 3, 2, 1. Hold that top leg lifted. As you do so, flex the foot forward, point the toe, kick back. Good. So it's a kick forward and a kick back. Good. That leg stays lifted the entire time. These could be quick. These could be slow. You get to choose. I'm moving a little slower today because I'm fighting off some back pain. So that's all right. 2, and 1. Hold that top leg in line with your body. So it's back behind us. We're lowering that leg and lifting it. Tap the toe down and lift. We'll do 3, 2, and 1 more time. Lift the leg up, bend the top knee, bring it forward. You can shake it out, give yourself some myofascial release there, and we'll move to the bottom leg. All right, so our hips and shoulders are still stacked one on top of the other. We start lifting and lowering the bottom leg, working through our adductors, that's the inner thigh muscles here. Top arm is here in front of us for stability. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. Hold that leg lifted, pulse it to the ceiling. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Point the toe and circle the leg forward. Keep breathing. Now we're breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth for 3, 2, 1. Reverse the direction of those leg circles. 3, 2, and 1. Release the bottom leg. Very good. All right, both legs come out on top of one another. We're going to lift onto our elbow. So coming and allowing ourselves to work through the side body. You can come into a full plank or a full side plank. That may look like this, or we could bend the bottom knee and lift those hips up into a side plank from this position. So find a side plank of your preference. And I want us to hold it. That rib cage is lifted. We have space between our hips and the floor. Shoulders are stacked one on top of the other, as are the hips. Now, think about your spine. Your head is an extension of your spine. We want it to be in a neutral position. So we're not doing this or this. We're not collapsing into that bottom shoulder. We are really strong here through that belly. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hip down. Fold the knees in. Lift it up and over for another little side body stretch. Very good. All right, coming down, we flip the legs around. You get to do a little break dance here. And we do the exact same thing on the other side. So once again, we're starting with legs stacked one on top of the other. Our spine is in line with the back edge of the mat. Feet come forward in front of us just slightly. And we'll start working through the outer thighs, lifting and lowering that top leg. Our eye gaze is looking forward. Hips and shoulders are stacked. While you guys stay there, I promised this at the beginning of class that I was going to have to look at our participation again. So I'm going to do that now and take a quick snapshot of our participation list, just so I can ensure you all get credit for being here today. Good. All right, hold that top leg lifted. Pulse it towards the ceiling for those quick pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Point the toe and circle the leg forward. Can you brush those inner thighs together with every circle? 3, 2, 1, and reverse it opposite direction. 3, 2, 1. Top leg stays lifted. We flex the foot forward, point the toe, kick back, kick forward, kick back. Remember, those hips and shoulders are going to stay stacked here. You can take this movement as slow or as quick as you need to. 3, 2, and last one. Everyone kick that leg back behind you. Tap the toe down, lift it up, lower, and lift. Good. 5, 4, 3. Final 2. And 1. Bend the knee, bring that leg all the way forward and shake it out. Find a big inhale through the nose. As you exhale through the mouth, let's work through that inner thigh, inner thigh for the bottom leg. Lifting and lowering. Hips and shoulders still stacked, one on top of the other. Find that simple breath. We'll do 3, 2, and 1. Hold the leg lifted, pulse it to the ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Point the toe, circle that bottom leg forward. And then we reverse it. Take those small circles back behind you. 4, 3, 2, 1, release. All right, we're finding ourselves back on that elbow. Other side though, to continue our side plank. Option, we lift up from here, or bend the bottom knee and find your side plank from this position. Shoulders and hips are still stacked. Our head is in line with our spine, really strong belly here. And we just hold it. And hold it and hold, hold, hold. How about for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hips come down. We'll bend those knees in. Come on up and over for a side body stretch. Very good. All right, from here, we're going to find ourselves in something called quadruped. So flip so that your knees are right under your hips and hands come right under the shoulders. All right, from here, we've got that long neutral spine, toes are tucked under, shift your hips back, and you'll feel a stretch through the bottom of your foot, and shift forward until you feel a slight stretch in your forearm. Doesn't need to be a big one. I don't want a lot of pressure there, but just something that allows you to get some mobility here and feel a stretch through those feet. 2 more. And last one, press back, come up and hold quadruped. From here, we press the floor away, round the spine up towards the ceiling, and then drop the belly through. We call this cat and cow. Big inhale as you round up, and exhale, belly drops through, reach your sits bones towards the ceiling. And we'll just mobilize the spine here like we've been doing throughout class today. Just finding a little bit of articulation through that spinal column and mobility. Maybe this feels really great for your low back or your shoulders. All right, last time. From here, finding neutral spine position. So whatever feels right for your neutral spine. And we send our right arm out in front of us. Our left leg reaches back and lifts up. We've got glute and shoulder engagement for what we call spinal balance. We're just challenging our stability here. Bring that right arm and left leg down. Slide your left arm forward and the right leg back. Hold it. Good. And release. Can we continue to alternate arm and leg? So it's opposite arm, opposite leg, reaching for opposite walls. Lots of opposites here. And we continue to alternate sides. Good. As you switch from side to side, challenge yourselves to find that stability as quickly as possible. We can do that by keeping our eye gaze down towards the mat below us, by keeping our hands under the shoulders and the knees under the hips. Final time on either side. We'll go with the right arm and the left leg, reaching out and down. Other side, left arm, right leg, and release. Very good. So from this quadruped position, hands are right under the shoulders, bend the elbows, come down, and lift back up. We have some tricep push-ups. You can do those from quadruped, or you can reach those knees back behind you or come into your full push-up position. Whichever one you prefer. We all have 6 tricep push-ups. You can take them at your own pace. And as soon as you are done with those 6 tricep push-ups, I totally lost count. So hopefully you did not. Take your knees wide, send your hips back, and we come into a rest pose or child's pose. You may have heard just that if you've ever done yoga before. Arms reach forward, hips reach back towards our heels. This is a great way to stretch through our low back, as well as through the chest. Finding that simple breath, maybe taking this opportunity to roll out through our wrists, wiggle our fingers. A few more breaths here, just relaxing. And when we're ready, lift the spine up. Knees come back in towards one another, and we'll lower ourselves down towards our bellies. As we come down to those stomachs, hands are right under the shoulders, tops of our feet stay connected with the floor. Allow your eye gaze to look straight down towards the mat. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, lower down. So this is our spinal extension. Our hands are coming off of the mat with us right now. And notice how only the upper body is working into this extension. Tops of the feet remain connected with the floor below. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Few more breaths here, a few more extensions. Let's do 2. One more time, breathe in, lift, and exhale, lower. All right, so we're going to deepen that work just a little bit. Take your hands right under the shoulders. Let your elbows reach up to the ceiling like grasshopper wings. Eye gaze looks down. Put all of your weight and energy into those arms as you press up and come back down. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, press up. Imagine that if you had a belt buckle on, that area would still stay connected with the floor below. Good. You can hold this press up as long as you'd like, keeping energy through those arms, just allowing ourselves to kind of unload the spine. This is a great exercise. It's called a Mackenzie stretch. It is a great thing to incorporate. If we have low back pain, this is something a lot of physical therapists will incorporate into their clients' routine. So if you've ever maybe gone to a physical therapist, you may have seen this before, but it's essentially our spinal extension. Last time, lift up and bring it down. From here, press those hips back towards the heels again into that rest pose. Get a little counter stretch there. Roll out through the wrist again. From here, we lift up, tuck the toes under, and shift the hips towards the ceiling for something we call down dog. Finding an opportunity to alternate our knee bends here, stretching through the calf muscles and the hamstrings. 2 and 1. Really press those sits bones towards the ceiling here. And we release our right leg up for 3-legged dog. And bring it forward. That right knee comes to our right hand for something we call pigeon. If you're like, what did she just do? How did she get there? And we're not loving it. You could also find that stretch for the outer thigh by taking a seat, crossing one ankle over the knee for what we call a figure 4 stretch. All right, so that's another great option for this. You could do that seated, you could do it standing, but this is the version from a position on the mat here. When you're ready, send those legs back into down dog. We shift the hips towards the ceiling, find a big inhale. Exhale, float the left leg up into 3-legged dog. From there, the left knee pulls forward, and we come into pigeon on the other side. Remember, if we don't love pigeon, we can find that figure 4 stretch from any seated position. It could be in a chair, seated on the floor. I know we can do it standing. You just take your leg up on a table, but that one is like the hardest for me personally. Take a few more breaths here. And release. Very good. We're going back into down dog for the final time. So shift your hips towards the ceiling. Both feet come back towards the mat. Big inhale. Exhale, walk your hands towards your feet or vice versa. As we forward fold over the thighs, gently roll your spine up. Rolling it up until you're in a standing position. You can roll out through the shoulders. Very good. I know my hair is always funky after class. As you roll out through those shoulders, find a big inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, bring the arms back down. One more time. Fantastic. And you all are done with Pilates for today. Thank you so much for being here.